This is the conclusion and summary of our basic info and tips before getting started playlist video series. Now, if you skipped all the other videos and came straight here to this summary video, I like your style. You want the business, you want the action, you're ready to start the jamming. I understand. But listen, this is just a summary video. If you want the details, the videos are there for you to go back and review. Alright? Now, let's summarize what you should know, or at least be familiar with if you did go through all of the videos. First, you know several factors to consider when choosing the type of guitar you want to learn on if you had no guitar at all. Second, you know how to tune your guitar and use some tools to do that, whether it's an app on your phone, an actual guitar tuner, or the video of the tuned guitar in this playlist. Third, you're familiar with understanding chord diagrams and tablature, and you have an idea of why tabs are upside down and sometimes even chord diagrams. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, you know how to efficiently approach learning chords, chord transitions, and strumming patterns, which are three of the main components of our guitar learning formula. And let's look at what that formula is right now. You pick a song, determine what chords are in that song, what order they're played in, how many beats each chord is played for, and then apply a strumming pattern that fits the timing. If you keep doing that, you'll develop your guitar playing while simultaneously learning a lot of songs. And that methodology will be the focus on this channel, teaching you how to play underlying chord progressions and timing for songs, as opposed to any type of detailed finger picking or solo. Song choice, chords, chord sequence, chord timing, strumming pattern, you're bad in the dance. You understand? Now, let's say you have your guitar, it's tuned, you have a song, you have the learning material you need, and you're ready to start learning and practicing. Let's take a quick look at some of the basic mechanics of actually playing. When you're holding your guitar, hold it close to your body and aim to keep it as vertical as possible. In the beginning, you will probably tilt toward you slightly to see what's happening here on the fretboard and when you're checking out your fingering position. And you can also lean forward a little bit to look over, that's fine. But eventually you want to aim to have it upright like this. Okay? Now your finger in hand, you want to be able to reach around, creating a curve, right? So that your palm is not resting flat and muting the sound of the other strings. Right? You want to try and get that curve action going on. Your strumming hand, like we said in the previous video, you're just rocking up and down. Eventually, you'll get a little wrist action in there once you start learning more complex strumming patterns. If you have a pick, what you want to do is you want to hold it with the... No, I don't have a pick. I lost my pick as usual, so I'm just using this bag tie from a bag of potatoes that I bought earlier in the grocery. Right? So what you want to do is, it's close to a pick, right? So what you want to do is hold the pick obviously firmly between your thumb and index finger, and you want to have it so that the pointy end here is facing towards you. So we can do that. Right? Pretty straightforward. Just grab it with between your thumb and index and put that little point towards you when you're playing, and you can play the individual notes going down and coming back up as well. Straightforward. Alright, now what if you don't have a pick? Well, no pick, no problem. Then you're gonna have to use your fingers, right? Now for your down strum, especially when you start learning chords for the first time and you want to hear the individual notes, I would suggest you use your thumb for the down strum, like this. Right? That way you can hear each individual note. I mean, with the pick, it's less of a problem. You're just going down. Right? That's kind of straightforward. But the alternative here might be, some people sometimes simulate holding a pick with their thumb and the index. Here's the problem: if you use your index finger, unless your nail here is very long, you're not going to get quite that crisp sound. kind of hard to, a little more difficult, right? So I would recommend you just use your thumb here, right? And then on the up strum, you're just using your thumbnail to come back up. Of course, you can't necessarily pick each individual note out that way, right? So you just kind of have to use your thumb. So finger picking, that's complicated, but as a beginner, basic strumming patterns, downstrokes, use your thumb. Upstrokes, your thumbnail, the back here. Thumbnail right there. Basic patterns. Now, when you start getting more advanced, you can incorporate your index, middle, and your ring finger for down strums to get a little more kick. Right? It's more similar to the sound of a pick. That's one thing that's nice about a pick. It gives you a really powerful, bright, sharp sound. I'll use my potato bag tie here. Right? I'll check. Kind of dull with the thumb, right? But now check it with the 3-finger blast. Woo! You got some fire right there. You get some more jamming when you use the 3 fingers because there's more surface area contact with the strings. Yeah, more jamming. And for the up strums there, I'm just using my thumbnail the same way. Coming up with the back of my thumb using my thumbnail here, right? So those are just a couple quick tips and more practical points to help you with your playing mechanics. Try to keep the guitar vertical. It's acceptable that you'll have it tilted towards you in the beginning just because you need to see what's happening here, but aim for it to be vertical when you're positioning your fingering hand. Try to make sure that you can do something like this, right? So you have this idea that your hand is kind of cranked in this weird position, kind of coming over the top of the neck like that, right? And then for your strumming, like I said, for me, I would say for basic strum, use your thumb to get those notes sounding clean, down, and then thumbnail back up. And then for when you want to make the notes ring out collectively, use the what I'll call a power stroke. Yeah. So, you know, you can jam some real fire action here. You understand? Yeah, boy. Alright, now. Alright, now. We'll go over all those tips again in the chord library and chord progression playlist, where we will look at chords, chord progressions, and strumming patterns again in more detail. And that's it, my friends. We've covered a lot of information in this playlist that was both theoretical and practical and based on general principles and ideas that if you stop playing your guitar for 5 years, 10 years, and then you came back here, the information would still be applicable to helping you learn in an efficient manner. I hope some of these suggestions and tips will be helpful for you on your journey. If you're feeling like they might be, and you're feeling the vibes, you know what to do. Jam the like and subscribe, leave a comment, and ring the bell for the most vibes. We're moving forward ever, backward never. Blessings and respect. I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, man. Next video. First song tutorial. First actual song tutorial. We going with Marshall. You understand? Yeah. I had to represent my home country, Trinidad and Tobago. Oi. Yeah. Woo. Hear me. Yeah. All she said she wanted is one wine from me. All she said she needed was a little bit of